He's trying to undermine the media.
Trying to make up his own facts.
Control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
I'm the quote. Repeat the line.
That is our job.
God bless you. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me as always is Ryan. This is episode 106 of the weekly show, all of the week's hottest topics with a twist. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe before, we'll do it on all the platforms before, the show's removed on YouTube or we're sued for damages for $1 quadrillion. Ryan wants to talk about homosexuals, then we're going to talk about fat people, and we're going to talk about Alex Jones. Ryan, go for it. This is the energy we're doing the shows in from now on. I'm over it. This is our new show energy. Hope you like it. We'll do it for one show until I'm bankrupted by the government for free speech. Make it good, Ryan. It's going to cost us a lot of money. I hope you have a lot to say about homosexuals.
These people lied forever, and this guy says one thing out of context. We're gonna fucking bankrupt you.
It's important.
Right.
Epstein with the Clintons.
Oh my god, that guy said that in court. All right. Good evening, everybody. All seriousness aside.
Ryan, by the homosexuals, do you mean us?
No, this was a conversation, okay? This was a conversation I had with people, a real-life conversation with people that I didn't really know before. I know of them. I kind of know of them. But I've never, talked to them. Okay? I've never, had this conversation. So I was in a wedding this past weekend. Fucking lovely.
Did you dance with any very slutty-looking women? Like at the last wedding I saw you at?
No. She didn't look like that, but she was... Anyways. One thing at a time. So... The day before is the wedding rehearsal. If anybody's ever stood up at a wedding has had to go through that. So we do all that, and then we meet up at a restaurant bar afterwards. And I sit down with the table. It's 3 females, 2 guys, and the guys were dating 2 of the girls. So 1 single girl, and then there was me.
Perfect. That lines up. Things are going well.
This is like, hey, right? The one girl looks at me. This is not a judgment towards anybody, okay? This is
Things are not going badly, I take it.
This is just a crazy story, okay? This is the shit that happens to me, okay? This is why I tell you guys you got to have conversations and believe in the shit you believe, okay? So I'm sitting there, minding my fucking business. No, we were conversating about other shit, right? I get asked, dead in the face, if I like to get pegged.
Well, of course. You do. Everyone does. Of course you don't.
For people who don't know, pegging is when a girl, or probably a guy, just fucks you in the ass with something. Okay? It's terrible.
It's better than docking, to be fair.
This is not judgment. This is what was so crazy about the whole conversation. That I don't ever want to hear that the United States government won World War II. Because the Soviet Union won. Holy fuck. Tell me how Orwell knew they were going to control language the way they did, Dave. I really got to know how. I got to know it. Because it wasn't like I was even talking to a person. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. But when I responded no, she said, well, it's not gay if a girl does it. I said, It's emasculating.
It's an interesting point, though, Ryan. Is it gay if a girl does it?
Yeah.
Was she trying to line you up to be pegged?
I don't know. She's in an open relationship with a guy that she obviously doesn't find attractive because she's
so
trying
she's
to
a slut. Perfect.
trying to suck all the dick she wants, but this guy probably can't even get a fucking respond on Tinder. Oh, it looks so easy with a dating app. So what? You know how much time I've invested with men and women in relationships the last few years of my life so I can better understand the opposite sex, and then I gotta get asked about fucking in the ass from
So
a
anyway,
lady.
it's the next morning. You've been pegged. Go on.
Jeez, I'm still sore. So, dude, basically, I was shamed by 3 grown females. They were all younger than me or a little, whatever. They were all my age group, like our age group. Shamed. Well, every guy I've ever done it to has loved it. It's not gay. You got to be open-minded. What do you, like, they kind of basically tried to say I was insecure, that I wasn't comfortable with myself and my sexuality. Shame. Because I don't want to get pegged. How do you know you don't like it if you don't try?
First of all, every year we get pegged by the federal government, and we have till April 15th to send in the form.
Dave's birthday.
Fucking federal tax day. So her perspective is that you're insecure because you don't want to be butt fucked.
Dude, and it's also the one girl, the way she talked about it, she said, well, as a bisexual woman, I just like anytime like a guy, like blah, blah. It was like, this is what I mean about the Soviets winning and Orwell, because it's like she already broke. This is why people get upset if you don't say this is a joke and then make the joke. Is because they've already, like, they've been programmed. They've been programmed to speak. It's like Shakespearean, right? Like how they would say, this is going to happen, and then they would show you. Like, that's how people, they want none of the regular emotion and passion of life, I guess. But this woman, just like the way she structured her language, I was like looking at her like, you're fucking crazy. And the best part about it was it came up later in the conversation about boundaries. That she said people need to have strong boundaries in relationships. And I looked at her, I said, let me ask you a question. Do you think anybody would have strong boundaries if they always get ridiculed or if they always get shamed about having them in public? She's like, no, I don't think people should be shamed for having boundaries. I said, well, you brought up pegging and told me I was basically homophobic because I don't want to get pegged. That's literally a boundary, and you're an advocate for it here, but not in other places. What does this sound like?
Me and Eve went to get massages before, and they asked about, is there anything you don't want touched or whatever? And I went feet, because I have ticklish in the feet. And I assumed that would be the boundaries. I didn't know butt touching was part of the massage. I would have said, don't touch my ass, had I known. Next time I know, don't touch my ass or my feet. Ryan,
Dude,
not gonna lie,
that's when I text you, Dave. It basically came down to that he's a straight white man.
That's correct. Yes, correct. I am. Next question is what I would say.
You mean the straight white man that had Jesus and the Bible and Western theology and the age of fucking discovery and inventions and the Renaissance? You mean those straight white males?
Yeah,
you mean all that straight white male culture that we denigrate every day and smash into ruin with opinions and just throwing out traditions and rituals because we want to be progressives, so we don't want to hold on to our past because it's angry and bad and deceitful and hurts people and enslaving and they're rich and greedy. So this is that straight white men, the Greco-Roman ideology that the individual's empowered. Yeah, that straight white man that gave you fucking science. That straight white man that gave you critical thinking and the arts. The art that she was tattooed. The art you're on your body. Like literally. This is what I mean. It's like they attack our whole way of life. It's a whole way of life. This person has probably gone to school. I think they're in, and there
Late
I am.
20s.
There I am, being the strong, masculine man. I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying to be this thing. This is just the way I am, and I am a fucking tact. I'm attacked. You know what I thought today? I had to help a family member move today. I made the joke that all these women in my life bitch about strong and, like men, and we're all stubborn-headed until it's time to carry a couch up a flight of stairs. You're fine with toxic masculinity then. You're fine with me being toxic masculine when I got to drag shit out of the mud. Fine with that. But if I'm a little toxic masculine with my point of views on not getting shit shoved up my ass, I'm the homosexual phobic person.
Brian,
You're a fucking straight white male.
The CDC did have some guidelines and some statistics about people who like being pegged.
You're kind of correlating with something else going on.
Yeah, 99% of them have monkeypox. I'm sorry, 99% of people who have monkeypox like being pegged.
Are men. Are men.
Who like being pegged.
Are men. Let's just bring this one up. Here's another metric of society. If this was 99% female something, we would be fucking having advertisement campaigns. Look at what they did with abortion. It's an attack on women. Here's a bunch of gay guys trying to get blowjobs from each other, dying. And we're like,
Well, what are you going to do?
It's man's world, though. We're just all dying because I'm not getting pegged.
Somebody who does not have monkeypox and is not like being pegged is in trouble for talking about obesity. Remember, obesity is now a racist term, in case you missed that. But yes, Bill Maher is in trouble for talking about obesity on the program because you can't talk about these kinds of things.
There's a disturbing trend going on in America these days, rewriting science to fit ideology or just to fit what you want reality to be. We've gone from fat acceptance to fat celebration. Now the term body positivity is used to mean I'm perfect the way I am because I'm me. It's Orwellian how often positivity is used to describe what's not healthy. Healthy at any weight is an unchallenged lie that people tell themselves so they can go on eating whatever they want, which is fine. I've done many self-destructive things too, but no one pretended there was positivity in smoking. Fat activist Ted Kyle, founder of Conscience Health, says the media and public needs to stop catastrophizing obesity. Okay, A, they're not catastrophizing it, and B, they should be. Poor diet is the leading cause of mortality in the United States. New York Times. Okay. Of course, we're talking about heart disease and cancer and diabetes, but also, as COVID has taught us, obesity is horrible for the immune system, which is why those numbers were off the charts during the pandemic. That's a catastrophe. It's literally a national security issue now. Military recruitment is down by the most since the end of the draft because mainly 17 to 24-year-olds are too fat to fight. At some point, acceptance becomes enabling. And if you're in any way participating in this joyful celebration of gluttony that goes on now, you have blood on your hands. Full stop. Companies like Nike, Sports Illustrated, Victoria's Secret, companies that are specifically about fitness, nevertheless promote people who are plainly not into fitness. There's a reason the first thing your doctor does is make you step on a scale. Well, it used to be. There's a card now that you can give your doctor, and it says, please don't weigh me unless it's really medically necessary. It's always necessary. It's like asking your dentist not to look at your teeth. USA Today actually wrote the sentence, science hasn't yet figured out how to solve obesity. And Ted Kyle concurs, saying, we don't know how to blunt the rise in obesity because we don't know precisely what the factors are that are causing it.
People have lost their fucking minds. How yeah, go. Fuck.
Two things quickly. The thing about military recruitment was not funny. Like, think about that. When they talk about people in militias and everything else. Think about that. We're not even fit physically to fight off foreign invaders.
No, luckily we just get involved all the time around the world.
Secondly, I was going to reference, I'm glad we talked about the little old communist winning thing because Orwell and everything else. Bill Maher, I'm glad he referenced Orwellian. I don't think people know what that means anymore. Like, I don't think the average person understands what that means.
No, a lot of people throw it around.
Yeah, they don't know. It's in this, like, it's just like a word, like, I don't know.
Gaslighting gets thrown around a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
There's an actual definition to the terms.
Yeah. But Orwellian means that they rewrite history or they, like, we read the fucking book. But, like, people don't even know Orwellian is from 1984. So there's always a disconnect. But everything he was leading up to, that whole thing was literally Orwellian. Literally what he does in 1984. And it's just, I think the Soviet Union won the Second World War. I don't know what else to say anymore. Like, there's no way that they didn't. They have taken, I've come on the program and brought up that one video I listened to about that ex-KGB agent and stuff. And this is exactly the kind of shit he was talking about. We don't know how to fight obesity. Yeah, we do. It's called the calorie deficit. If you need 2,000, if you're fat, if you need 2,000, take 1,500. You got to starve yourself and just eat it. It's just like crazy. There's literally whole, this is so frustrating. People have lost their minds, David.
People have lost their minds, and I'm sure Bill Maher, and I don't want to get away from the obesity thing too quickly, and I thought it was also funny that he brought up Victoria's Secret, because you had a TikTok about Victoria's Secret fat models that redefining, what was it, redefining beauty or something like that?
Redefine the term beauty, and I said men define what beautiful is on a woman. Because if women did it, you ought to be fat. I don't like fat girls. You know why? Because it's unhealthy to have kids with. That's why men are naturally not attracted to fat women. They're rewriting fucking biology.
Biology, they've been rewriting biology for quite some time.
With political opinions that they can enforce with social canceling. I could be canceled for transphobia or homophobia. Think about that. About something against biology and fucking human. Just throw it out the window. Just throw it out the window. Remember the last time we did that when they killed, like, I don't know, 60 million people in a world war? Remember last time, David, when they threw all that shit out and religion was dead? And they said there's no point to life. We just work away. That we had death camps of fucking certain religions.
Well,
science doesn't know how to fix obesity.
Ryan, you must have forgotten. You're talking about that World War, and you got to remember that was not about race. Whoopi Goldberg, we can have her fill you in later. It was just white on white violence, Ryan. Speaking
no
of white on white,
here, no ethnicity here, David. They're just all the same blanket people because they all look the same. They're just a blanket people. Even though they had different languages and different customs and different cultures, they're just all the same white people.
Well, Ryan,
but I removed their fucking history, right? My ancestors ripped out the Africans' history, and they don't know theirs.
Correct.
They redefine the words that our ancestors literally gave us, like definition.
Brian, I don't suspect you're taking this seriously. This is very damaging to overweight people. Damaging that could result in many millions of dollars in lawsuits to Bill Maher, of course, because the precedent has been set.
Imagine the day that I can get shamed for not having things inserted into my anus, but I can't shame you because you're a little overweight.
Yeah, that seems perfectly reasonable, right?
People have lost their fucking
Ryan, a precedent has been set. Okay.
I guess this is one way to put it.
Alex Jones has been found on the losing side of a civil trial. Of course, that will result in fines of, I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact number. Let's throw out $45 million. I don't remember the exact number. I saw 45 million. I saw 49 million. Call it 50 million. Call it 40 million.
It was 4 million of one thing and then 45 million of another.
Perfect. He wasn't allowed to use free speech as a defense, if I remember correctly. That was a set rule of the trial, which is bizarre to me.
We can do that?
Sure. Fuck your free speech.
I thought governments were instituted or arrived men to uphold the life, liberty, pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, for the record, how is that not government interfering in your free speech? They literally told him you cannot use free speech as a defense.
You know
that is
why,
by
David?
definition government telling you don't have free speech.
You know why, though, right, David? Because he said that in literally every other lawsuit the guy's ever had ever. And they finally were able to get him. And for those who don't know, they made jokes about him and shit, but his lawyer forwarded shit to the other legal team during the trial. Like 2 years worth of information or something. It's just
this is no accident, as Joe Biden would say.
The guy, come on, honestly, let's just look objectively. The guy that's always talking about conspiracies hired a shitty lawyer, just a shitty lawyer that happened to transfer shit that he shouldn't have to the other law team.
Yeah, it was by accident.
The guy that told you that the frogs are gay because of chemicals in the water. And
that should be several million. I will represent the frogs in that lawsuit.
The frogs.
Actually, he was correct about that, just for the record.
Harvard study actually is done at, not that biology matters anymore, but
well, they probably don't identify as gay, so it kind of depends.
Yeah, good thing we don't have frog-sized microphones to ask them the question. Yeah, it's just crazy to me. It's not. Look, I'm just gonna start the conspiracy. I'm sure it's already out there. That wasn't the guy didn't mess up. Why does the lawyer even have the phone number to the other fucking lawyer?
I don't know for sure, Ryan. That could be normal. I really don't know.
Could be, David.
Maybe.
Is it normal?
I don't know.
Maybe they talk about the case after hours together. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? You want to go touch base?
It could be normal. Should we look this up? It could be normal. It could be a normal thing.
During the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, those people can't go take a shit and look at a TV screen to sway the fucking jury, and everybody's got to abide by that one. But this jury could just magically have the phone number of the lawyer, rather.
I'm trying to see. Can a lawyer talk to him? No, but this is specifically. This is a really hard thing to search. Because I
wonder why, David. Aren't laws supposed to be easily understood by the common man?
Do lawyers normally? What should I put? Do lawyers normally talk to?
Do opposing lawyers talk outside of court?
Yeah. Well. Opposing lawyers are permitted to speak to. That's not what I asked. Opposing lawyers are permitted to speak to witnesses so long as witnesses are not parties to lawsuit. Why is this not a?
It's not an easy question, apparently.
No, it's really not. What's Cora? What the fuck's Cora? Is this a legitimate source? Do opposing attorneys have conversations? If so, what do they say? Good ones certainly do.
I think that means afterwards, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like something that should be happening in fucking. I would not want my lawyer being able to contact my other lawyer. I
would imagine it's fairly normal. It's probably not fairly normal to send 2 years of evidence over to the other lawyer on accident. let's go farther back. Let's think big picture on this. Even if what he did, whether or not it was on accident or on purpose, how can anybody explain to me what $40 million in damages looks like?
Are they getting more money than when they tried to sue the fucking gun manufacturers?
Well, that's a good question. How much did they sued Remington, right?
Mm-hmm. That might have been like $500 million or something.
I would imagine it's a good amount. Sandy Hook.
Sue gun manufacturers.
Ooh, it's a settlement. Settlements are always good. $73 million.
But Alex Jones can pay $45 million, half of it. They say he's estimated up. People are calling him morally bankrupt in the media that I've seen today, which is so funny to me because all these people make money on shit talking all the other people.
It's interesting because obviously Sandy Hook was a tragedy, right? Nobody's saying it wasn't. But Remington got sued for producing a firearm, $70 million. Alex Jones got sued for producing content, whether you agree with him or not, $50 million. They attacked the First and the Second Amendment in court and won. That's not great, to be honest. Those aren't good precedents. It's not good to say that the First Amendment doesn't apply because this person was upset by it. I'm sorry she lost her child. Obviously, losing your child is a very difficult thing to go through. Suing Alex Jones does not bring your child back. It does not do anything positive.
Well, this is also one of the guys most polarizing guys on the internet. He was censored from literally banned and deleted from Twitter and everything. Remember? I mean, they've tried to get Alex Jones off the internet for a long, long time. And he's also friends with high profile individuals in the media as well, like Joe Rogan. So I wonder if by extension they can mosey over to Spotify while they're at it.
Well, they're certainly trying to.
They're definitely going to. Precedent is an understatement when this didn't need to happen. They said I can't. First Amendment basically covers everything but like yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. You have more rights as a fucking transvestite than you do as a regular person.
There's legitimate limitations to First Amendment. Your First Amendment should not cause harm to me physically. For example, calling for death threats on somebody. That's an obvious thing that should not be okay. But it's tough though because it creates a very fine line. That's the whole fire in a crowded theater. Your free speech should not be able to tarnish my character. For example, Amber Heard saying that Johnny Depp beat me or whatever the fuck the whole thing was. That caused him to literally financially lose money.
Defamation is very hard to prove, though, which is why it was so much.
Incredible case.
Yeah.
What damages can you show me happened from Alex Jones talking about Sandy Hook?
Well, they tore the school down and rebuilt it, David. So I mean,
perfect.
Really
so should pay for the cost of tearing the school down. This is the thing that's very difficult. What can you show me? You have to prove to me in court that I caused X number of dollars in damages.
Dave, I got a conspiracy theory.
Well, it's going to cost you.
You ready?
Yeah.
So check it.
Remember to continue watching on Rumble.
School shooting happens. May or may not be involved with MK Ultra. So school shooting happens. All these families are super mad. Be like, man, there was only a lawyer that could go after the gun manufacturer so we could set a big legal precedent. We've been trying to do this for a long time to get hands hands of Americans should not have guns in them. So what do? Let's have our best lawyer go down there and just have him talk to him, see what he could do for us. Oh, look at that. He won. That guy won, I told you. He's a great lawyer. He's my favorite lawyer in Washington. You know what? Let's go after Alex Jones this time. Because, we got to be able to stop these super right-wing lunatics on the internet, right, David? So we got to get this guy. We have to be able to crush his ability to make any income, obviously. We have to be able to crush his ability to be independent, obviously. We don't want this guy getting employed by somebody, so we have to tarnish his reputation and make him seem like a crazy madman, like he's never been right before, because everything he says is a conspiracy theory. Oh, my God, look at the lawyer one again. So now we've got the First Amendment nipped. We've got the Second Amendment nipped, all on one case. It's wonderful. These families can make out. We can use them. We can say that we helped them because of their tragedies and they were super young kids. And he used an assault weapon that was left in a vehicle and he brought handguns in the building instead. It's just typical run-of-the-mill case, David. This is what happens all the time when there's a tragedy. They do this all of the time. 100% of the cases happen and end like this. They always sue media personality for saying bad things about horrific events, Just like, we saw, and he died like Gaddafi and Hillary Clinton. She paid millions of dollars in reparations for that. But whatever. My point being here is there is a reason why they're doing this. They are setting precedents. We're speaking shit that nobody else is going to be speaking now, but I can't wait to hear.
It's pretty expensive to speak this kind of truth now.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear Alex on whatever his next program is. Tim Pool's been SWAT teamed. Joe Rogan they've gone after him with all his controversy, COVID. Do you see a pattern, people?
They're going after Bill Maher for saying people who are fat are unhealthy.
Jordan Peterson,
said
he literally
biological man was a man.
Yeah, and said that, yeah. Literally, look at these people. He's joining with Ben Shapiro, who says that he promotes Nazi propaganda when the guy's a fucking Jew and gets anti-Semite death threats all the time. He always talks about it. He has his own media empire that has 1 million subscribers. You think they're just attacking these people for no reason? Let's look at. You remember when Elon Musk was just all of a sudden super right-wing, David, not too long ago when he tried buying Twitter? This right-winger Musk. Mm-hmm. Do you think Alex Jones is right-wing? When he's gone, who's the next extreme right-winger? Alex Jones is gone. The line's gone. There's no more alt-right, David. We got rid of Alex. It's over. They don't exist
They got
anymore.
they got rid of the gay Jew who was dating a black guy, Milo Yiannopoulos. So that extreme right-wing racist Nazi is gone.
Got the fat racist Texan.
Fat racist Texan, perfect. Alex Jones is gone. Mind you, he's a person who hates Democrats and Republicans. He hates government because he talks about conspiracy theories, which turn out to be true most of the time. He's gone.
Alex Ball's on 60% accuracy on some of the craziest shit you've ever fucking heard in your life.
And that's only because of the 60% or of the
that
100%.
We know about.
Yeah, right. The other 40% hasn't been proven yet.
It's really easy to be wrong when they haven't released anything to validate your fucking opinion. This guy's just shooting.
Or when they purposely go out of their way to hide it.
Or they just run you through court. He
So
just
who's
wrote
next?
a book called The Great Reset.
Who would be next? I don't know, like a Steven Crowder.
Steven Crowder. He's been fighting YouTube for the whole time about copyright strikes.
Yeah.
They said one more, you're done. We'll ban you from the internet.
Yeah, that has happened.
He's actually the guy that was the super high profile guy that brought up the terms of use with YouTube being shady.
Well, what about a guy who was a registered Democrat for most of his life, and then he switched to be a Republican, right before, I don't know, like a decade or two before
like Dave Rubin?
Oh yeah, you could do Dave Rubin. He was listed as a dangerous right winger also at one point.
The dark web,
Vox or Vice or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, that whole thing. That's their plan, man. They're taking our Mount Rushmore of people we need to fix the government and to get it back to we the people by the people kind of stuff. They're literally...
Well, I don't know why you think the government needs to be fixed, Ryan.
Dave, put it together. They take Alex Jones away, these independent content creators, while they're simultaneously funding ones with White House money.
Yeah. Well, they were meeting with members of, content creators at TikTok, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
they were just
the way
giving them a couple of pointers, though.
That was something else I seen this week, that they said majority of Gen Zers get all their information from TikTok over Google. People are TikToking more than they're Googling. Wait until the fact check on fucking TikTok comes.
Opinion check. It sounds like we need to take our fight to TikTok.
I'm ready. I'm fucking ready.
Let's do it, Ryan. We're going to TikTok. We're taking our fight to TikTok, but before we do, we were talking about government needing fixing, and I was stating that it didn't need to be fixed because, as you know, Ryan, the Senate passes Democrats' sweeping healthcare and climate bill, which sounds great. Climate bill and everything is definitely what we need right about now. I was thinking about it.
Milk.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it, Ryan. You're so worried about your bread prices. I was thinking about it. I don't remember seeing in the news, like, Biden is pretty... He's always going to social media, his administration is, at least, to, give themselves some pats on the back and some fist bumps, talking about what a great job they're doing. And I don't remember him going on talking about a climate and health bill. And that's because it was in the Inflation Act. While economists disagree over whether the package would, in fact, live up to its name and reduce inflation, it's really focusing on the impact of reducing carbon emissions.
So it's an inflation bill that is masquerading with climate change in that.
Why name it the Inflation Reduction Act if it's a climate change and healthcare bill?
Well, no one's against inflation right now, David. If we're anti-inflation...
Everyone is against inflation. It's affecting every middle class and lower income American. It's affecting rich people too, but they can just happen to afford it because they have the extra resources. It's affecting everybody. But it's like specifically extremely difficult on the people that the Democrats rely on.
Yeah. What are you, against the Patriot Act too, David? Because you're not a patriot?
Yes.
Patriot Act Part 7.
People have an extreme distrust and dislike for their government, especially the Biden administration right now, and of their media. And the reason is stuff like this. The government goes out and they have the Inflation Reduction Act. And then when you read it, it doesn't reduce inflation, which I know sounds crazy. You might expect from the Inflation Reduction Act that it would reduce inflation. And then they pack it full of climate change nonsense.
That adds money to the bills that will, by default, increase inflation.
Well, yeah. So what happens is they say they're going to reduce it. They create a bill that has climate change instead, and then it leads to more inflation. And then the media says, "Ooh, you should see what they're doing with this climate bill." Well, it's not even. It's supposed to be an inflation bill. Where's the inflation part?
I can't wait for my earth-friendly bread, David.
Believe it or not, there's a bunch of... Basically, I would call them blank checks, and go spend them how you want. And it's going to pass. It passed in the Senate, 51-50, because you might be thinking there's 100 senators, but don't worry, Kamala Harris in the blue suit was there to be the leading overturning vote. It's going to go to the House, which is led by Democrats, and then it's going to go to Biden's desk, where he's going to sign it. And then we're going to head in ourselves to the nice, good old midterms, where luckily we don't do things like charge Hunter Biden, because we don't want to overturn the elections or sway elections, even though civil suits just happen to be media coverage right before the midterms of Alex Jones.
Media doesn't sway elections, David.
Oh, well, fascinating enough, the media doesn't. The Democratic Party, have you been...
Media doesn't swing elections, but Alex Jones can ruin people's whole lives.
Correct. Yeah, it seems entirely consistent. Also, the Democrats, I don't know if you've been following us, but apparently they're putting a lot of money behind Trump-backed candidates because they think it's their best chance to win in the midterms.
Wait, what?
Have you seen this? Let's see if I can Google this for you, Ryan. You not seen this?
I love seeing things live on air.
I know. We're going to share a screen. We're going to go to a window tab, Google. We're going to go to Google. Let's go to Google, Ryan. And what we're going to do... Yeah,
not TikTok, Dave? You're not using TikTok for this?
No, I'm not using TikTok. I get my information from a good American source like Google. DCCC.
Hold on. Back up a second. Did you see it says carbon neutral since 2000?
Yeah, it's fine. DCCC funding Trump backed. Oh, that's weird. It's not finishing my sentence for me.
Oh, there it is, though. MSNBC.
DCC under fire for funding campaign ads for Yahoo News, the most trusted name in news, Ryan.
But it's weird.
Tents for sale.
It's weird. I'm going to need those because you're going to...
Yeah, we got tents for sale.
It's weird it didn't auto finish your sentence. It's so funny. And then here it is, literally the fucking...
After Republican Rep. Peter Maher of Michigan lost his re-election bid to Trump-backed candidate John Gibbs, who is a black man, by the way, even though Trump's a racist and there's good people on both sides. Politicians on both sides of the aisle criticized the DCCC for funding campaign ads for extreme far-right candidates. Chair of the DCCC, fucking just call it the USSR, Sean Patrick Maloney speaks to MSNBC about his strategy. Wait, is this the guy talking about his strategy? Hold on, what's this? Can we play this? What is this, Ryan? The DCCC, USSR.
DCCC.
With less than 100 days until the midterms,
I love MSNBC. They're so diverse. Look at this, man.
Election deniers across the country are winning their primary races, setting up a dangerous scenario in November. In Michigan's 3rd congressional district, Republican Congressman Peter Maher lost his re-election bid to Trump-backed
They
candidate
spelled it
John
wrong,
Gibbs.
you idiot.
You may remember that Maher was one of only 10 Republicans who voted to impeach Donald Trump after the January 6th insurrection. And get this. His loss could be due in part to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee funding ads to boost his far-right opponent.
$43 million.
In other
Where'd you get
races,
that money
we've
from
seen
Alex
Democrats
Jones?
vote in Republican primaries in an effort to give the Democrat an extremist opponent. Makes sense. But at a time when democracy is on the brink, they could be playing with fire.
Do your job. Tell us why.
Joining me now is Congressman Sean Patrick Maloney of New York, chair of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee.
Fuck you.
Chairman Maloney,
you see the guy in the back?
Very much for being
here. You don't
here.
have that guy in your background all the
Maher
time.
Said he has no regrets over his vote
out of
to
here.
impeach Donald Trump.
I got an interview on MSNBC. You better put the black guy up.
Of funding ads for extreme far-right candidates sending to current Republican members who are afraid to stand up and cross Trump.
Well, good morning, Jonathan, and it's a great day for Democrats watching
fuck off.
the success
That dude is not always
that
there.
hugely important legislation on the Senate
shit.
floor. We are better off today
you're
than we
fucking
were a week
ass.
ago.
What is that,
We're
Michelle
better off
Obama?
because of the voters in Kansas, who by 60% showed that they are not going to go back with a MAGA Republican movement that wants to drag us back. And at the DCCC, we have one goal, Jonathan, one goal. Let's be really clear. It is to protect the pro-work, pro-choice, pro-Social Security and Medicare, pro-voting rights majority we hold in the House, and to stop dangerous people from coming to power.
So we're going to fund
There are
him.
always going to be questions about tactics. That's normal. But we are better off today than we were a week ago. The big losers this week are Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell.
And I get that, and I do want to talk about that, but let me just get you, because let me just get you to respond to something that Congressman Adam Kinzinger
The MSNBC
said on
host sounds
CNN.
like he would have monkeypox.
Here's the thing. Don't keep coming to me asking where are all the good Republicans that defend democracy, and then take your donors' money and spend $500,000 promoting one of the worst election deniers that's out there. I mean, you know, the DCCC needs to be ashamed of themselves.
Congressman Kinzinger on CNN on Wednesday, the day after Peter Maher lost.
Do you think he lost his election because he bored me in the 30 seconds he was talking?
Well, it's flat wrong to say that we were promoting an election denier. We were attacking an election denier. I think a lot of the people talking about this haven't seen the ad. The ad
This guy
said
lives in fucking
what is true,
bizarro
that John
world,
Gibbs is an
apparently.
extremist. He's too conservative for Western Michigan. We have a great pro-choice Democrat named Hillary Scholten. And if Adam Kinzinger really wants to keep common sense, pro-choice people in power, he can support Hillary Scholten because she's the Democrat that's going to win that seat. And it is far more likely today than it was on Monday. Don't take my word for it. Dave Wasserman and the Cook Political Report changed the rating on that race. And they say it is much more likely that a Democrat, pro-choice, pro-voting rights, pro-worker, pro-climate, is going to hold that seat. Let's remember, both Peter Maher and John Gibbs want to take away a woman's right to choose. Both Peter Maher and
is that
John
noise in the
Gibbs
background?
would vote for Speaker McCarthy.
Look
Jim
at that
Jordan is chairman of the
fucking
Judiciary
election
Committee.
denying
In other words,
on the
people
left.
can disagree about tactics. That's normal. And there are always complicated questions in politics. But the bottom line is that we are closer today than we were on Monday to having a pro-choice majority in the House. And the big losers this week are the MAGA Republicans who thought they were on a glide path to the majority, but we've got a surprise for them. We're winning today in the
It's
United
mail-in
States Senate.
ballots.
We
That's
won
the
on
surprise.
veterans health care last week. We're going to win next week on a plan to reduce
I
climate
heard
emissions by
enough of this
40%
fucking
in
asshole.
8 years. We're going to reduce prescription drug costs.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the
it's all in the
Roe v.
Inflation
Wade-
Reduction Act where we spend a lot of other people's money.
So let me get this straight. The
I don't-
Republicans called out a Democratic group that was funding far-right Republicans so that they would win the primaries. So when it came to election day, the Republican seemed crazy and extreme and super far on the one side. So then their Democrat would just seem like this nice, easy, like, look, common sense. We just show up. Look, this is the person you want, the great uniter, plug and play. They like everything. They stand for everything. That's why we have multicolored flags. This sounds a lot like Overton Window, David, that they want a certain thing. They just admitted that they fund both arms of politics all the fucking time and just snuck it in on broadcast television. Didn't think I'd
Correct.
notice.
Yeah, real concerned about Russians interfering in our elections. Also, we're interfering in our elections.
Literally funding the other political party. But then you get on the stage and you say, you fucking extreme Republicans over there, you got them elected. You get the crazy guys elected, and then you say they're crazy on stage in front of everybody. Tell me the Soviets did with World War II, David.
I mean, they didn't technically. It's just
On
like
paper,
they technically aren't
they
in a
didn't-
recession.
They didn't declassify those documents yet. I wonder what those look like. They're probably printing in fucking cursive so no one can read it. Oh, yeah, we don't teach that in public school no more. Make sure you can't read Constitution.
What was the joke John told? A commie, a Nazi, and whatever walk into a bar. What do? Invent
Start
NASA.
NASA. Commie, a Jew, and a Nazi walk into a bar.
Oh, and only two leave. Ryan, what? You had other things to talk about today, and I don't remember what you said.
Well,
This show took an unexpected turn, to be honest with you.
The
I thought
Alex
we were just going
Jones
to talk
shit is-
about obesity and homosexuals and Alex Jones, who is an obese, maybe bisexual. What other things do you have?
There was some documents that were leaked this week, David, by Project Veritas.
Yeah. What was that dude from Twitter? We're not supposed to be talking because of people like this Project Veritas. Yeah, like the dude you're talking to right now, you monkeypox infested. Go
All right,
on.
this is a tweet from Jack Podesta on Twitter from Wednesday. Breaking via Project Veritas. FBI whistleblower leaks Bureau Domestic Terrorist Symbolistic Guide on, quote, militia violent extremists, unquote, citing Alish Baba Bet. This guy, like, in the Betsy Ross 13 Colonies circle.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame we have to explain
Also,
that to
the
people.
3%er symbol. The 3%er symbol, American Contingency, Oath Keepers, Lightfoot Militia. Timothy McVeigh, the Crusaders, Stephen Guerrero, Ruby Ridge, Waco are significant events in this movie. Waco, you know, when the government murdered people? Wonder why?
Yeah. Yeah. They did
the
do
Punisher
that.
skull, 2A, the gas and flag
Punisher
revolution.
skull?
Yeah, because
So
it
can they do
is,
another Punisher
several
movie?
variations of skull used by 3 percenters in Mole Labe, which means come and take it, the Greek saying. The black flag and all black American flag is used to some to indicate no quarter shall be given. Anarcho-capitalism, which is the yellow-black one, an ideology held by
Kevin's in
some.
trouble with that one.
Yeah, warrior culture, military themes, both historical and contemporary. Spartans, Valhallans, because Vikings die on the sword, right? They'd rather die with the axe in their hand.
Did they just pick shit out of a hat?
Well, David, why would they attack all the foundation ideas of our country and label them as domestic, extreme, and terrorist groups?
Well, I mean,
my dad gave me a book this week. I might as well share it now. But my dad gave me a book this week. I think I'm going to start reading it here. Because this is...
Oh, yeah, that's... See, what that is backwards.
Yeah.
But what it
that's
is
a little,
Mein Kampf.
Yes, that is little Mein
You should
Kampf.
get the digital copy. It's much shorter.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple pages missing. I'm not like promoting ideologies on this page, YouTube, but I am. This is one of those things, right? This whole idea of history, right? The idea that you're labeling these things domestically extreme and all this other thing is going to make it. You're just.
Are there any excerpts in there that point to the white-on-white violence that occurred?
Oh, man, I can't wait. I'm going to definitely. I have to read I have to read that book. It's just so crazy to think that guy. Like, soon, this book might not even be published in our lifetime.
Not on paper, no.
Yeah, like, that's crazy.
I wonder why they would not want to publish it on paper, but only digitally.
Yeah, I wonder why. It's not like it will always be there, David. The internet's forever, David. Remember? Can't find child pedophiles. So, yeah, that was something else I want to bring up. They're labeling us as terrorists for a reason. I don't think people need to know this, but it's funny because I'm at the point that I seen stuff like this 10 years ago. They were doing mock zombie drills that they would shoot at farmers and stuff. Yeah,
Excuse
look
me?
up. Yeah. Let's do
God
it.
damn it, do we have to do this again?
Yep. Department of Homeland Security zombie apocalypse drill.
Ryan, you have to promise me we won't get sued for $50 million. I don't have it right now. I'd have to liquidate some assets.
It should be from like 2007, 2008, 2010.
Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, so we're doing zombie...
Department, DHS, zombie apocalypse.
Excuse me?
Right there, .gov. National Preparedness Month 2017.
Yeah, but this isn't...
Zombie apocalypse.
The fuck? First responder resource, Steve. What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
no, this is fake, right? I know it's .gov, but like this is a science and technology. What?
Yeah, this is not what I've seen. I mean, there's this predates this. The thing I'm talking about. They actually had like the black and white, like what they did, the people they employed, and all sorts of other stuff. Like there's actual documents.
What the fuck
Zombie
is
man.
this? This is a real thing?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it, Dave? This is what everybody does.
Fucking
fuck you, Dizzy. They would have
off.
that.
Yeah,
Homeland
probably.
Security's not preparing to go fucking SWAT team the pedophile islands, but
yeah, hold on. We gotta get our pedophile ads in. Take her to the back room. You'll see her on Disney Channel when she's 14.
You'll see her at Disney X Plus.
Fuck off. I fucking hate people.
She's Asian too. No white people go to Disney.
The shoe will be the only thing left.
Is that Barbara Streisand?
Triggering.
What year is this from?
18? This is fucking no way.
It's weird they got masks on. Isn't that weird? They got masks on.
What?
It's like they're training our military members to shoot down infected people. You know, they have sores all over their body as if they were at raves, David. Don't they? Don't they kind of look like that? Look at that. The actual document. They got it on screen for a minute. No shit. Underwater robot.
What?
This is funny they care about this shit under Trump. You know, 2017, this is when you hear about them overspending military. Yeah, this is just an isolated incident, I'm sure, David. They only do MRAP.
Oh, excuse me?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm sure you guys reached out for questions. Make our community. Yeah, that's exactly what you do with zombie apocalypse drills. That guy's not trained to lie.
Dude, this is fuck off. There's no way. So,
yeah, I've been called crazy, David. Yeah, call me crazy. And the stuff I'm talking about even predates that. Like I said, that's even. Yeah, I don't know what you guys want.
These people are fucking insane.
Yeah, and they're labeling people. What's the next zombie apocalypse drill or style drill? Taking guns from 3%ers? Is that the next mock drill?
What did we do recently? We did the nuclear preparedness.
Fallout. Yeah,
was it the World Economic Forum that did one, or World Health Organization? One of those two did something along those lines.
And then New York City did one right after. That's correct. Just like monkeypox was declared
WHO first.
Yeah. WHO, San Francisco, New York City. It's weird.
Yeah. It was
one of them
WHO,
even referenced global policies. We're going to use all our global resources.
Well, what do the global people say about domestic terrorism, right?
I think we've seen that with just the Sandy Hook people, David. So yeah, FBI's coming for you. They we sent this in the chat that apparently the ATF showed up to some guy's house asking questions. I've not actually seen any evidence of this, but goes up to the ATF, goes to this guy's door, starts asking about his guns. The guy goes into his house and calls the police and says that there's people at his door asking about his firearms. The cops came down and arrested the ATF members.
Classic.
So there's always that out there.
What a legend.
Yeah, I'm not going to get crazy into this, but global food famine is something I've been seeing on my feed all week here. Michaela Peterson, Dan Kershaw, and then the last person that I've seen talk about it this week in particular is Chris Williamson, who was also on Joe Rogan, which was my Decembertainment this week. But global food famine, I haven't gone crazy into that. It's just the whole thing. I told you guys a few weeks ago that bread is the new bullets. I mean, I talked to my mom.
Before that, you said we had a very limited global wheat supply, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's only like a month of wheat left. Dan Kershaw had on a guy that looks at this and writes books. And now, granted, grain of salt, people, I'm not a fucking economist or anything else, obviously. Dave and I are just a couple dudes. But, I spoke to my mom's boyfriend today about it. He said, I've heard that for 30 years, and then he brought up, I've heard we're going to run out of gas for 30 years. I remember Y2K.
They had gas shortages.
Yeah, I know.
They had to wait in line for gasoline. That literally happened.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Just something to keep in the back of your mind. I don't know if storable food is the way. Buy Spam. Buy what you can. Inflation's high. There's not supply. I get it. But, buy pasta. Learn how to make bread, grow food, hunt, fish. Learn practical, useful competency skills that can save your family or yourself. Build a fire, shelter. Learn how to clean water. I don't know how to do all these things either. But we all
watch the weekly show Mondays at 7. All those things.
Yeah, all communicate, have conversations. Don't defend yourself from dumb whores that think they're gonna stuff something up your ass.
Buy paper books.
Read the damn things too. There's a. Yeah. This is like the whole thing. I used to get down and out when I first got into this, and it was partly because I listened to Crazy Alex Jones, right? He would get me hyped up and down on his emotions too, and I didn't.
You may be entitled to compensation for damage.
Yeah, I didn't know enough or understand the world, or wasn't mature enough to understand the ideas and digest them and look at them more level-headed and right. So I've expanded. I've come a long way, but when I would ride the wave, I would always get bummed out. Fuck, it just seems heartless. But then I would get so empowered because Alex would also say that you got to like get serious about this shit. Like educate yourself, prepare, know that they're lying, like all the things we talk about, you know? So it's just, you know, it seems overwhelming sometimes. I have a friend, Mike, of the show too. You know, he gets down and out too sometimes because his, you know, maybe it's
which Mike? Because there's a good handful of Mikes.
Good Mike. No.
Don't talk about Elon Musk, Mike.
No, not that Mike.
There's another Mike that you call like the whale or some shit. What the fuck is that Mike? Who's that guy? What the fuck do you call him?
This is just my regular friend Mike. Nobody special, but
this is regular Mike.
This
is regular, not special Mike.
Yeah, but
he, shout out, regular, not special Mike.
But he always tells me, you know, like when him and his friends talk about sometimes, they always ask him like, why do you even care about this stuff, you know? And then fast forward the last 2 years, we could put that on a time reel. But so yeah, in between all of that, my Decembertainment this week, there's a guy on Facebook. Guy on YouTube. His name is Chris Williamson. He runs a podcast called The Modern Wisdom. And the guy's got a pretty interesting background. He was on like a TV and was like a club guy, and you know he's like fit, but he basically has on it's very similar to the Joe Rogan style of like having on experts in certain fields, discussing them, reading their books, interesting conversation, intelligent conversations, dating advice, health, all this stuff. He had on Jocko and Jordan Peterson, and you know once again it's that Rogan-esque. Well, he's been doing the podcast, I think he said, for 2 years, and he got on Rogan, which is cool. Like, that's like every podcaster's dream is to be on Rogan. I followed this guy for about 6 months now. I've heard him reference it, and then to actually see him go on Rogan when I watch, you know, I watch probably 2 or 3 of his shows a week sometimes in entireties, if not their clips. But, like, I keep up on this guy. He's got awesome stuff out there, and he's, like, real, you know, it's the type of people you want to be like when you know, that style of people, real disciplined. He's smart. It's just cool to see people kind of get their flowers and go on Rogan. Rogan is, I know I'm very hard on Rogan, but there's a reason, because they're coming for him next, and he's got to fight for the right shit. Because
sometimes I feel like he doesn't see it coming.
No, he doesn't, and that's what pisses me off. He still thinks he's just a dummy. And,
yeah, he's like, I'm just big dumb Joe Rogan. They're not coming for me. It's like, no, dude, they're coming for you. You are one of the next 3 to 5 people they're coming for.
Yeah, and I actually sent this to you, Dave, about how Joe Rogan said, Joe Rogan just asked somebody if you can have freedom of speech without firearms.
No.
You can have freedom of speech without firearms. You'll just never be able to defend your freedom of speech. So do you have freedom of speech? No. We can't
hold on. Let's just ask any other country that has both freedoms. That's nobody else. So no, you can't.
But that was the podcast with Chris Williamson, because he's a UK and he just moved to Austin. So it was cool. That's another thing that made him cool. He's from a different area of the world, very Western, but still different. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I encourage everybody to check it out. It's just a super good, intelligent conversation. And the guy, you can obviously tell the guy's well-read, and I encourage everybody to check him out. Maybe he'll be one of our sources coming on future here, just like Patrick Bet David has now morphed into something that we use as a resource on the show. And that guy in particular, Patrick Bet David, he even offers PDFs and shit on the internet so that you can share the information. Like, that's how much these people care, which is why we need to point them out, and we all need to go consume their content. Chris Williamson, Joe Rogan, Patrick Bet David, and December 1773 with Dave and Ryan. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end, I appreciate that the most. Follow us on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. We'll be there live commenting with you, 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday. I look forward to everybody being there, and thank you as well, David, for your time as always.
Definitely. Thank you, everybody. If anyone has any offense taken to our salute, if you think it's a bad salute, well, I wasn't in the military. I was too obese to fight. So catch us Mondays at 7, and we'll see you next week. See you, Ryan.
Later, Dave. I was too obese to fight. Everybody's too obese to fight, Dave.